Good morning, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and I am the creator of the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cubes. I'm here to play with my cubes, and you're here to join me. Good morning. It's Friday. The weekend is coming, rapidly approaching, unless you're, depending on where you are in the world. 3 ABCube. How are you guys doing this morning? Y'all having a great day? Scramble. I'm scrambling just my centers today. The way to scramble just the centers is to keep your corners correct to each other when you do whatever you want to do with. As long as the corners are lined up before you twist, then you don't. The edges cannot scramble without the corners moving. So if you've kept your corners stable, then all you have to do is line them up. Line up the edges. And you have scrambled just the centers. Fun. So as long as whatever you're doing to scramble leaves the corners intact. Let's do this way. Whatever do, blah de blah de blah. As long as you keep your corners stable, then the edges will line up and you will have scrambled only the center. Ta-da! Okay, so centers are scrambled. Good for Friday. A quick overview. ABCube, Formula A is 4 moves, Formula B is 8 moves. You hold the cube, you look at the center, the front face, as if it were rows and columns, and the arrows indicate the single layer that you move, single slice that you move in order to accomplish what you want. Formula A brings a piece to the top, Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you ever need to do. Formula B, if you use the bottom row in the right column. Formula A, bottom row right column, moves corners around, changes these two, and twists them as it does it. Formula B, and if you apply it to the middle row and absolute column, you get boxes because this piece moves. Formula B is just top row and 2 columns, and if you do the outside columns, it works on corners. Outside, inside, it works on edges. 2 inner columns, and it works on centers, and that's all you ever need to do. With A and B, you can solve every size Rubik's Cube, including the fun ones. This one's an 8, I think. All right. So, Formula B for edges. You pick a piece. Pick a piece that's incorrect. We're going to say this piece is incorrect. This piece wants to go to the top. So when it does, it's going to land, hold on. It's going to land where this piece is. So that's 2 of the pieces I'm going to move. So I go up. Oh, the first horizontal is to line them up so that they're advantageous. We're about to be attacked by a kitty. So up, move to a different column, second up, reverse, down, reverse, down, set the top. And what happened was this piece came from this spot. So those are the 3 pieces that moved around. It looked like I was moving just 2 pieces, but 2 of the pieces were the same color, so you're always moving 3 pieces. To undo it, I line up to the top, go up, slide to a second column, up, reverse, down, reverse, down. And so that is all you're doing. So diagonals are a little bit more precise than the obliques, because the diagonals because you have to pay attention to which side you're twisting when you do the top. Here's an orange. It's on the front, it doesn't belong there. I'm just going to move to the top, so I hold the cube so that the orange is on top. It's going to land right here. So I can bring down either a white, yellow, or a red. That red doesn't want to be there more than the other one, so that's the one I'm going to bring up. So that was my horizontal. Then I go first column up, slide to a different column. Now if I go this way, it's still in the same column, so that's not the right way. So because it's a diagonal, you have to pay attention that you're going to a second column. So this is my second up, and then you reverse it, and my edges are done, so they keep me track of which column. If I'm talking, I get distracted and I try to move back this way, it's like, nope, that's not right. This edge piece is here to keep me straight down where I am. So down, set the top, and continue. That piece is set. Here's another orange that wants to go up, so I don't, before I flip my cube. Either one is fine. So up, slide up, reverse, down, reverse, down. And I'm just going to sit here and play with my cube unless someone asks me any questions. Feel free, if you have any questions or comments, put it in chat. I'll be happy to respond. Here's but otherwise you just pick a piece that's wrong, hold it so it wants to go to the top, and I can bring down, it's going to land here, I can bring down the orange or the blue or the green. So anything with orange is fine. So I go up, slide, second up, reverse, down, set the top and continue. Okay, here's another yellow. Let's move that one. Line it up with something. Up, slide up, reverse, down, down. Here's a blue, and I can bring down the green or the red. I'll bring it on a red. Up, slide up, reverse, down, down. And the thing is that with Formula B, you're only ever moving exactly 3 pieces, so you're not upsetting anything that you already had solved. So it doesn't matter which order of operations you use. You can do layer by layer, you can do inside out, whatever you're doing, whatever method of order of operations you use, ABCube will work and solve your last 3 pieces from whatever state of scramble that you're in. White goes up, slide to another column, second up, reverse, down, set the top, and keep going. Here is a red. Red is on top. I'll bring the green down. Up, slide up, reverse, down, Excuse me. I'm really happy with the way that this works on every size cube. They treat every cube the exactly same way. There's no, we'll learn the 3x3 and then make the 4x4 look like a 3x3 and then do the 3x3. That just seems like a double solve to me. Here's a blue, doesn't want to be there. There's the orange, doesn't want to be there. So up, up, down, down. Follow it, bring the red down, up, up, down, down, set the top, and keep going. Here's a white, white goes on top, line it up, 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 down, down. Keep going, pick a piece that's wrong, line it up, throw it in its direction. There's no, no look, so I don't want to bring the blue down, I'll bring the orange down, up, up, down, down, set the top, keep going. Let's work on this blue. Okay, up, up, down, down, set the top. Here's a green. Oops, green. Going to go to the top, line it up. First up, second up, first down, second down. Set the top if needed. Pick another piece, keep going. Up, up, down, down. And again, it looks like you're moving two pieces, but you're always moving three. Because of the nature of the beast, you're always moving three. What wonderful plans do you have for the weekend? What are you going to do to entertain yourself? I was going to be moving this week, but a plumbing incident put a pause to that. Okay, so again, the diagonal corners. The diagonal corners, you have to pay attention to which way you're going. The obliques, however, or the floating, I call them floating centers, but I'm told they're called obliques. Actually, no, this is a plus center. Anyway, okay, this one has to go twice, so let's line it up with something. Up, slide to a different column. Doesn't matter, it could go either direction, unless you're worried about making pretty patterns on the front. If you're making pretty patterns on the front, then it matters which direction you go. So there's a green. And these two oranges want to come down, so I'm going to treat these two as one piece. Up, slide, up, reverse, down, set the top, and keep going. All right, I'll treat these two greens as one piece. Up, slide, up, reverse, down, down. Here's a green. Line it up the top to what you want it to be. Go up, slide up, reverse, down. And again, the reason, because I did the corners first and then the edges, like I said, that edge there is there to remind me where I am in case I don't get confused mid pattern. There's a red. Doesn't belong where it is, so put red on top. Line it up with something I want to come down. Up, up, down. Here's some blues. Let's do these blues because they line up with these reds. So, up, slide to a different column, up, reverse, down, set the top, and keep going. Here's a blue. I can bring down these two or these two. I don't think it matters. So up, up, down, down. And because it's repetitive and redundant, some people think I had someone say, "This is boring." Well, of course it's boring. It's because it's not the it's not the fastest, it's not the shortest, but unless you can give me a link to a cube that original method that is newer than 2020, works on the 5x5 as well, and is easier than my method, I'm going to say that this is the easiest one to learn. There may be an easy and a beginner's method that is as easy to learn, but unless it works on all of the cubes, it doesn't compete with mine. So line up, 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 and yes, I'm understandably I'm proud of that. So again, just pick a piece that's wrong, aim it in the direction it wants to go, toss it in that direction, reset the cube, and keep going over and over and over and over. So the thing about this is that not only do you not have to memorize dozens to hundreds of algorithms, but with algorithms you also have to remember which algorithm does which thing, because this one, see, this is the one if it wants to go clockwise, this is the one if it wants to go counterclockwise, this is the one that I have to do this before that one, because this is going to have effect, this edge move affects the corners, this edge move doesn't affect the corners. Your brain is busy. Your brain is busy when you use algorithms. When I cube, it's very relaxing to me. Hey, can you help me with my access cube? I don't know what an access cube is, so you'll have to give me more direction, more information. I do know that. I mean, I know that A and B will solve every cube, and I know that A and B will solve every minx, but I don't know about access cubes because I haven't tried my A and B on access cubes. So do you want to show me what an access cube is? Okay, does that mean you're withdrawing your question, or are you going to tell me what an access cube is? A 3x3 access cube. Okay, I think what you're talking about are those ones where instead of turning it like this, they turn like this. Like this, where the lines go this way instead of this way. Like they rotate, instead of rotating like this, they rotate like around the corner like that. I have not tried this on shape mods, so I don't know if A and B works on shape mods. So no, at this point in time, I can't help you with an access cube. If I bought an access cube and tried my A and B on it, then I might be able to. But I did find, but as far as, so shape mods, I had a square one or a square and plus or something, where it can turn into the shape like a fish or shape like a, whatever the different things, and I was not smart enough for that, so I gave it to one of my students who could do it instead. But I have not tried it. However, I didn't think it would work on the minxes until I got the minx, and then applied Formula B to it to see what it did, and then realized I could solve it A and B with the minxes with just A and B. So if I went and bought a access cube, the access cube is one that twists. If I went and bought one and tried it tried my methods with it to see what happens, I might be able to solve it. I haven't done that yet. With this one, haha, fun. This one is an 8x8. And the thing is that the reason why I know that is I bought a 3x3x9 because I'm like, I have to know it. It's so pretty. I have to try my 3x3x9, my Wood Eden. So I bought a 3x9. And I solved it with, I solved as much as I could with the, as if it were a 3x3 one. And I got to the 9x9 method. So I'm like, okay, my B didn't work because my B is one row over, one row back each time. And so you do that, and then you can't solve the, these are banded, so you can't turn the things. So I went to the internet, and I looked for the internet, and I went, for a solid month, I checked out a different person's. I have an 11. Want to see it? Want to see it? Want to see my 11? My 11 is not my favorite because it is rounded. Okay, I'll be right back. Haha, there it is. This is too big for my camera. There you go. It's almost as big as my face. I bought this off of Mercari from somebody who was selling their entire cube collection for $30, $50, whatever. My guess it's a 5x5 because I don't have money for anything else. Nice. Again, this A-B method solves this cube just as easily as it solves every other cube. Because parodies are lies. We don't believe parodies. They have no power over us. Parodies don't have a power over us. And so A and B solves all of them. So anyway, I spent a month, day in and day out, looking online for tutorials for the 3x3x9, and I could not. All parodies. You said I know all parodies. Okay, a parody is a lie. There are parody algorithms. They're very long and complicated. They look like the cat marched across the keyboard. And if you, when I teach my newbies, I don't teach them. I don't teach them the standardized notation. I just say, okay, hold your cube, and do this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this is what happened. And so when I teach in real life, it takes me between 2 sessions, an hour each. But between an hour and a half and 2 hours total teach time, and anyone can walk away with this cube in their hand, knowing that they can put it down. Parodies are hard to learn. You don't have to learn them. Don't have to learn them. Especially because there's a parody that you learn if the cubes are opposite each other like this. There's a parody you learn if they're adjacent to each other like this. There's a parody you learn if they're on different faces like this. And you don't have to, you can throw all of those away. You don't need them, because a parody is, all parodies, whatever it looks like, is solved by one specific thing happening. And if you undo that one specific thing, the parody just dissolves. I know, I just figured that out. So you know how to undo a parody. Do you know how to dissolve the parody instead of solving it? Or shall I talk about parodies? When you said, I know, I just figured that out, what did you just figure out? All you need for odd numbers is 2 parodies. Did you know that lol and no I don't? Okay. All right. Every parody on a cube is caused by one specific thing. If it looks, Formula B always moves 3 pieces around. I'm going to talk about parodies. Okay. A parody will show up roughly 50% of the time if you have for each row. So if you have, for example, if it's 8x8, I've got a 50% chance parity will show up here on these two, 50% chance parity will show up on these two, 50% chance parity will show up on these two. So, but I solve my cube, and then I do my, and then I just do the parities at the same time. However, a parity is only going to show up on the corner or on the edges, and either way, it's solved by the exact same thing. If you have a parity on the corners, if these two are correct and these two are not, 1/4 turn of the row that has the parity, and now this cube is correct and these three are not, and you know how to place that. If the parity is on the edges, if it looks like this piece wants to be here and this piece wants to be here, there's always three pieces. If you only see two, the third piece that you do not see is literally the piece that you do not see, meaning that you're going to be moving two pieces. So this row, this slice that the parity touches is a 1/4 turn off. If you rotate that 1/4 turn, then whereas these were correct and these two were not, now this one's correct and these three are not, and you know how to do that. So whenever you see a parity, whether it's these two or these two or these two, it's just the slice that touches the parity. You make it a 1/4 turn, 1/4 turn, and then solve those edges. And then that's why I place the edge of the centers last, because that 1/4 slice that undoes the parity does mean I have to redo these pieces. So if I've do the centers last, then I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, no matter what the parity looks like, it's a 1/4 turn off. You make a 1/4 turn off. And for example, I can make this have a parity. I can make all three of these have a parity. So I'm going to rotate my center, my invisible center, a 1/4 turn. Okay. I'm going to, yeah, thank you so much. You're absolutely welcome. I had a void cube. The way I learned that is I had my parity algorithms. Yeah, isn't it fun when just like the light bulb clicks? It's like, oh wow, that works now. I can do that. Because I took my parity algorithm and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then I changed it from letters to arrows, so I could see what it was doing. And then I treated it like an algebraic equation. I said, okay, if there's something on the beginning and something on the end that reverse each other, I'm going to just cross those out from my pattern. And so I simplified the pattern, the parity algorithm, down to whatever did not simplify, and it turned out to be a single 1/4 turn in the middle. And at the same time, my son was working with my void cube, and he was doing the void cube, and he's like, wait a minute. It has a parity. That's supposed to be impossible. Why does my void cube have a parity? And he goes, my invisible center is wrong. And he put it down. He didn't know how to fix the invisible center. Well, all parities are caused by the invisible center being a 1/4 turn off. And if you rotate that a 1/4 turn and then solve again, the parity's gone. The cake is a lie. You use your own method for everything on big cubes. I average about 1:30 on my 5x5 with my own method. I average about 1.5 minutes on the 3x3. I'm not fast, but I can teach anybody in under 2 hours. Not just there's 3x3, but absolutely every cube. So that's my claim to fame. That's where my speed is. My speed is in teaching. Thank you. So this is my method. I created it, I invented it, and I published it online in 2020 on abcube.how and at speedsolver.com. And I am also listed on, if you check out on my bio, you'll see that I'm also listed on Wikipedia for the Professor's Cube as one of 6 methods for solving the 5x5. So that's exciting for me. That's a nice claim to fame. So Formula B. So Formula A is 1 row, 1 column, and it's used to bring your color piece, active color, to the top on the corners, and it's used to move the centerpiece if the centerpiece is incorrect. Okay, but 1 row, 1 column, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up. You hold the world record for the Professor Pyraminx. Is that the one that's 5 across? 5 across? Because I just bought that one. Yes. Guess what? A&B works for that. A&B works on every minx. You can solve every minx with just Formula A and Formula B. And if you want, if you want me to demonstrate that or to work on that, I can do that this evening or tomorrow if you want to. If you want to come back and join me, so just let me know if you're here in the chat and say, "Hey, show me how A&B works on the minx." I will be happy to do that. 9 by 9, 5 by 5. One second. Let me go get mine. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, you said the 5 by is the normal minx for you. So this minx right here, this one, you consider that to be, that's your normal minx. And this one, this is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 7. This is the 7 by minx. So I have a 5, and I've got the 7. Which one is the Professor's minx? Or do I not have a Professor's minx? Oh, Pyraminx. Okay, you're the pyramid, not the Megaminx. No. Okay, you're talking about the pyramid shape. I don't have that. I don't have that one yet. I haven't tried my cube on this one. But A&B works on these cubes. It's all you need is these cubes. So that was confusing. I was confused. And we're on the same page now. So so these, A&B works on these. I had the pyramids. Haha. I had the pyramids back in the 80s when I was doing cubing, when the cube was young. And so I knew how to solve it back then, just intuitively. But I have not had one since I came up with the ABCube method to try. So, I will say the ABCube method does not work on square one. So I do not think that it's going to work on shape-shifting cubes, but I don't know. I haven't tried them. I have not tried them. A&B is too new for me to have tried them on that. But this little twisty, this little fun little toy, this little do. I use this to explain the parodies. 2 seconds on the pyramid one. Okay, nice. Back when I was back in the 80s, the pyramid, the edges, the tips of the pyramids would pop off and pop back on again, so you could rearrange them. Kitty, we have a kitty. This is Fluffer Bunny, my cubing cat. She is my assistant. Hi, kitty. Hi, beautiful kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. What? What? Yes. Yes, you are adorable. Yes, you are beautiful. Yes, you are beautiful. Hi. Okay. I'm going to cube. Are you going to cube with me, or are you going to run away and hide? Your cat bites me. Your cat bites you. My cat is very careful not to bite me and not to scratch me. However, when I am sleeping and he wants food, she wants food, she doesn't scratch me. She very carefully unsheaths her claws and she touches me until I wake up. She just pokes me. She doesn't scratch, she just poke. I'm like, ah, stop that, as I kick her off the bed. Yes, kitties are wonderful. Kitties are the best. Kitties are my favorite. So let's see, the 11 by cube. This one, like I said, I bought it secondhand, so it has some pieces missing, some stickers missing, and the colors don't necessarily line up. So someone tried to re-sticker their cube with just the ones that are missing. So it's just kind of a paperweight for me. I have scrambled it and solved it, of course. But I like the when I just want Formula A and B. When I use Formula A and B, it's very, very relaxing in my head because I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, and so it's very relaxing in my head when I do A and B. But when I want to challenge my brain, I get the witty. Oh, the 9 by 9. I was going to tell. I keep getting interrupted when I'm talking to you about my 3 by 9. Okay. My 3 by 9, I couldn't just use Formula B. So I went to other people's tutorials and I watched them. And like every tutorial, most tutorials out there, this is frustrating to me, so I did mine differently when I did my own YouTube. Instead, they'll say, okay, here's a scrambled cube, and here's how you solve this cube. And then it's like if your cube just happened to look exactly like that, then that helps. But if you're looking on how to do one specific thing, you have to wait until he gets to that specific spot in the video, and then you have to watch that over and over again until you figured out what he did. And so for my tutorials, I did everything is one step. And I have a video that shows how to bring your active color to the top on your corners. And then that's the video, and I do that on 5 different cubes. So because I'm doing it on several different cubes, you can see what the pattern is, how to do it on the cube that you have. And then the next video is, okay, here's how to move the 3, if your corners are not right, here's how to move 3 corners around. And I do that on all of my cubes. And then so there's a video on each step rather than a video on this solve. So anyway, so I'm looking at their solves, and I cannot for the life of me follow what they're doing. And I try looking at, I'm just like, I'm lost. And so I'll try someone else the next day. I'll try someone else the next day. And then I could not figure out my 3 by 9. And so, I mean, I would find patterns. They would say, here's the algorithm. And this algorithm is going to move these pieces and these pieces and these pieces. So put your cube into a position that's going to be advantageous, and then do this 27 move formula, and then reset your cube and see what it did and see what you need to do next. And I'm like, I am not that smart. So after a month going, I can't do this cube, this is ridiculous, I went back to my A and B, and I said, okay, I went to a big cube and said, I'm going to pretend that I can't move my yellow or white pieces, because that's what the 3 by 3 by 9 is. So I'm going to see what can I do with this cube, because if I mess this up, I can easily solve it again, so I can see again what the algorithms are doing, what the things are doing. So I'm like, okay. And so I took my piece and I went left, and I'm like, okay, well that doesn't work, so because I can't access my 9. So I made the minor change of every horizontal, instead of being left and right, I became 2 and 2. And then suddenly I could do my B, and I could see what would happen. So I'm like, okay, so slide the top, there's a first up, slide the top, there's a second up, reverse down, reverse down. So this is what B adapted does. And I'm like, okay, that moved, and I could see what it did. It switched these ones, it switched these ones, and it switched these ones for the edges, and it moved these centers around. So I did, so that was like, that's what B does. And if I do it again, then the edges are back the way they were, and the centers have been affected. So then I was able to use just with that adaptation, 2, and of course 6 anything you do the same over and over again is going to go back to wherever you started. So up, up, down, down, up, up. So then I picked up my minks, my 3x9. Then I picked up my 3x9 and started using B on the 9 side, 9 face, with the 2 instead of 1. And I knew that one formula B is going to switch. A lot happens on the right, but only one thing happens on the left. So I just started placing pieces one at a time, from the right to the left, until the left side was correct, and then I would look to see if the right side was correct, and if it was, then perfect. And if it had a parity, I knew how to fix that already, so I would just do a single quarter turn and then place those pieces again, and the parity dissolved. So overnight I had mastered the 3x9 after spending a month trying to use other people's methods. So the A and B works on the 3x9 with Eden as well. So all right, you guys, so this has been fun. Thank you for, you follow me, Nova Meets Bot? Because that would be fun. All right, I will be back here this evening, 6-ish my time, and I'll be back here tomorrow morning as well. I've gone through the steps of the thing, and usually I just like play and chat on the Friday evening, Saturday thing, but I am also set up to tutor in real time on my Zoom and capture it with my Twitch. So if you have any non-cubers who would like to try this, bring them to me. I am set up to do that. Just email me and tell me ahead of time, or tell me in chat, but I'll just set it up. So I'll be back this evening. Go have a wonderful day and be nice to yourself, because you deserve it. And I'll be back here this evening. Bye, you guys.